Most people make the exact same fatal mistake. They think squirrels wag their tails out of joy, just like dogs do. But in the wild, joy is a luxury no one can afford. When a squirrel starts making specific tail movements, it isn't playing. It is transmitting a code. And if you happen to be standing too close at that exact moment, the consequences can be entirely unpredictable. Today, you will discover the secret sign language these creatures have been perfecting for thousands of years. We will break down 3 specific tail signals that mean you need to back away immediately. And believe me, after this video, you will never look at a regular squirrel the same way again. To understand why the tail is so critical, we need to look behind the scenes of evolution. A squirrel's tail is not just an ornament. It is their ultimate survival tool, a parachute for death-defying leaps, and the perfect blanket for brutal winters. But there is something else. For a long time, biologists couldn't understand why squirrels spend so much energy on complex, seemingly random tail movements when no one appears to be around. The answer turned out to be chilling. They are never truly alone. The first movement you must memorize once and for all is part of what scientists associate with the Kuk and Quaa warning system. These are not just random twitches. Look closely at the trajectory. The tail creates a smooth but rapid snake-like wave. If you walk up to a tree and the squirrel above your head begins whipping its tail in these distinct S-shaped curves, stop right there. At this exact moment, you have become the target of psychological warfare. The squirrel is calculating your size and assessing your intentions. To them, you are a potential predator, violating the boundaries of their private property. Instead of fleeing, which would expose their vulnerability, they use their tail to visually increase their size and disorient you. It's an optical illusion. Your eyes involuntarily focus on the frantic movement of the tail, while the squirrel itself is calculating the trajectory for a strike or a sudden escape route. If you take just one more step forward, you will trigger a chain of events you might not be ready for. If you think a warning wave is intense, there is a second signal that shifts the situation from tense to outright critical. Biologists call it the flagging response, but to those who know the true rules of the woods, it's known as the death twitch. Instead of moving the entire tail, the squirrel holds its body completely frozen, flat against the bark of a tree. The only thing moving is the tip of its tail, which starts jerking in short, violent, mechanical bursts. It looks almost like a broken toy or a glitch in a video game. If you see this, do not try to approach, and absolutely do not reach out your hand to offer a nut. Look around immediately, because that squirrel is no longer looking at you. It has just spotted a lethal predator within a 10-foot radius. But if that predator happens to be a snake, the squirrel deploys an unbelievable countermeasure. It pumps warm blood directly into its tail, rapidly raising its temperature. To a snake, which sees the world through thermal infrared vision, that tiny, fluffy tail suddenly flashes like a massive, blinding heat beacon. It's a tactical illusion. The squirrel visually doubles its size in the dark, forcing the predator to hesitate. But there is an even darker side to this signal. If the squirrel is looking directly into your eyes while performing this rapid, violent twitching, it means you have been flagged as an active threat to their winter horde. A single squirrel can hide up to 10,000 nuts a season. To protect this life savings, they have developed a level of paranoia that borders on psychological genius. If a squirrel realizes you are watching it, it will perform a fake cache. It will dig a hole, pretend to bury a nut, pat down the dirt, and leave you guarding an empty grave while its real treasure remains safe elsewhere. But if you accidentally get too close to the actual vault, that mechanical twitch is the final countdown before a desperate, fearless defense. Now we must enter a territory that borders on the truly unbelievable. What if I told you that squirrels are communicating right in front of you, using their tails to send messages that your human senses are completely incapable of detecting? Urban ecologists wondered how squirrels in city parks could coordinate their escape plans so perfectly. When a dog enters a clearing, every squirrel for 50 yards seems to vanish into the canopy simultaneously, even if they were facing opposite directions. High-speed cameras finally revealed the secret. When a squirrel is mildly disturbed, it performs an incredibly subtle, high-frequency micro-shiver with its tail. To the human eye, it looks like nothing more than a gentle breeze, rustling their fur. But to other squirrels, the unique structure of their hair reflects light in a precise, strobe-like pattern that cuts through the chaotic visual noise of leaves and branches. It's an encrypted visual network operating right in your backyard. The human in the blue jacket has moved to the bench. The threat has turned away. They are whispering about you using nothing but light and motion. But it goes deeper than just sight. This rapid tail whipping creates low-frequency vibrations that travel down the bark and through the root system of the trees. While humans are completely numb to this, squirrels possess specialized tactile hairs, vibrissae, not just on their faces, but on their ankles and leg joints. Other squirrels clinging to the same tree network can literally feel the panic of their neighbor pulsing through their paws long before they ever hear a sound. You are walking through an invisible grid of absolute situational awareness. The next time you step out onto your porch or walk through your local park, take a second to look up. If you spot a squirrel sitting perfectly still, take a moment to observe its tail. Is it flowing in a smooth, deceptive S wave? Is the tip twitching like a ticking time bomb? Or is it shivering in a silent frequency you can barely perceive? We share our world with thousands of hidden eyes, but we rarely stop to translate the messages they are broadcasting right in front of us. These animals aren't just surviving in our suburbs and cities. They have mastered them. They have mapped our routines. They know our faces. And they are constantly speaking a language we are only just beginning to decode. So, keep your eyes on the canopy, pay attention to the signs, and remember, in the backyard, you are never truly alone. If you want to uncover more hidden secrets of the wildlife living right outside your window, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unseen world. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there.